What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lambo Plays podcast, episode 59, UFC Vegas 74. I am in Las Vegas with a shitty setup. All this just doing it for you guys. Timothy stayed up. The dude has work in the morning. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to wear my Bob Marley shirt. I took 10 gummies and I'm going to just fucking YOLO it here. So I'm kind of YOLOing here because I forgot to bring my plays with me. But I know most of them. With that being said, Tim, are you ready for this freaking UFC Vegas 74 card?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pumped to get back at it. Good week off. Won some money on Cage Warriors, tailing your bets, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, that Cage Warriors, dude. I thought we were going to sweep the board there. It would have been nice to sweep the board. And apparently, I wasn't watching, but you told me we might have got robbed because the guy ended up closing minus 800 and we still lost.
Yeah, he was actually minus 1,200 at the end of the second round. The opponent was plus 800, and he ended up.
That would have been nice because I would have been up.
The guy that was plus 800 at the end of second round ended up winning unanimously on two judges' scorecards, 30-27.
That makes a lot of sense then. Either they're all fucked up or the books were all fucked up. One or the other.
Something was off.
Let's go over to chat real quick. 20 Rick, by any means necessary. Let's go, boys. Yes, sir. Double Flush says cash those Cage Warrior tickets. Yes, sir. Dedication to the Lambo podcast is real. You better believe it, Alan. Look at us. Good morning, fellas. I don't know where you're from, but yes, sir. Good morning. Why? House Stroll. Mike Z, let's go. Anthony W, yes, this is late night MMA. Let's go. Zen Monkey, what is up, my man? Jeff Tisser, Carlos Diaz, Narco, that Lopez fight was crazy. Thanks. Yeah, I know. A lot of those apparently were crazy. I didn't watch any of them. Lambo Plays is greater than Nick, Narco, and Tim. Let's fucking go. You guys are the champs. Ice Viking. Das Files in here. Rich is in the house. Just want to hear why Elise Reed is going to smash. Fuck Elise Reed. I don't give a shit about her. Backseat. What is up, my man? Good morning. It is fucking late over here, but William Tyner, what is up? Yes, it is past our bedtime, but we're here to grind, and 37 of you are in here to go and grind with us. With that being said, we're just going to start off right here, Tim. We don't want to fuck around. First fight of the night. It's in the light heavyweight division. It is the 32-9-2 Maxim Grishen for 16-5 Felipe Lins. Kick it off, Tim.
Yeah. I mean, this fight is it's kind of weird. You get two older guys, light heavyweight. They're both big for the weight class. And I just think that Lins is there's a lot of love for Lins this week. And I mean, like I don't get it from the OSP fight. Like, I mean, he's beat OSP like just the corpse of OSP. And he's historically pretty chinny and doesn't have great cardio. So I'm not like, I understand like the line was a little bit wider. It's been moving his way. Gun in the head money line side, I guess I would be picking Grishen, but I think it's a close fight, especially for the first like 7.5 minutes or so. I think round 3, I think Grishen has a slight edge with cardio and just technically, I think he's a little bit better technically striking kickboxing, which I think this will be predominantly as that type of fight. I don't know if Grishen's going to be that easy to get taken down. And I think if Lins tries to take him down, I think he's going to probably gas himself out. So fight ends split plus 500. I don't think it's bad.
Yeah, actually, that sounds good. Not bad at all. I'm going to go a different route, though. Like I know Maxim Grishen historically has been pretty durable. He's got 43 fights. I think he's only been knocked out a handful of times, not many. Let's see, 3. Yeah, three. He's been knocked out 3 times in this many fights. But Felipe Lins does throw pretty hard at 205. We saw him against Ovince St. Preux. Pacquiao fight, he didn't finish him, but damn, did he hurt him. He almost finished him in that fight. And honestly, he throws hard for 205. Like, this guy's a natural heavyweight. He's down at 205. I think he throws pretty hard. And I feel like plus 500 for Felipe Lins by KO is a tad bit off. not to mention the fact that both guys are old, right? Felipe Lins is not young. He's 37 years old, but so is Maxim Grishen. Like, he's not a young buck at 39 years old, and not to mention the guy has been, he's been in a layoff for like a year and 4 months. It doesn't bode well for people to stay out that long when they're that old. Now, they're 205ers, so it's a little different. I still I still think Lins has potential to KO him here at a pretty decent clip, and it's plus 500. I think it's a tad bit off, man. I thought it was going to be more like the 400 range. Some books have it, 350, 400, but 500, I think, is there's a little bit of meat on the bone there at plus 500. Antonio, what is up, my man? Yeah, this is really late night, and 52 of you degenerates are still in here with us, so I love it. 52 at freaking 1 in the morning in New York City. So I love it. I love it. With that being said, we will move on to the second fight of the night. It is in the Bantamweight division. It is the 12-2 Luan Lucero versus the 12-5-1 Damon Blackshear. And I will kick this one off. There's a play here that stuck out to me. I don't kind of get this line. It's a very, very awkward big line, and I really don't get it. And some of these books released it at like 1,000, 1,100, and I thought it was big then. And then I look when FanDuel releases it, it's 1,400, and it's honestly Damon Blackshear by KO. He's the better striker. I know he doesn't hit like very hard, but he's athletic. He does throw decently hard. I know he doesn't have many knockouts. I think maybe one in his career. But honestly, Lacerda's there to be hit. He's not very good on the feet. He's very dangerous on the ground. Don't get me wrong, but will I be surprised if fucking Damon Blackshear just puts it on this guy? Like, he's so much faster. He's so much more athletic. And just the kind of, 1,400 is just weird to me, man. I guess it's because he doesn't have a lot of knockouts. But listen, you're not getting Zalal out of there. He's extremely hard to get out of there. You're not getting Bashrat out of there. Those guys, he fought pretty freaking good competition. Look at the losses, man. Danny Sabatello, Pat Sabatini. Moutinho is not a great loss years ago, but he's fought pretty good guys, man. And I just feel like this is a good spot for him. I like him also in the money line. I think this money line is off. I think it should be flipped. And Blackshear should be like minus 150 here. But who am I to say? A lot of people are on Lacerda. I think you're giving him a little too much credit. And I think there's a lot of recency bias right here, to be honest. There's just way too much recency bias. So, yeah, Damon Blackshear by KO. I know it's not a big probability, but 1,400, man. Give me a damn break. What do you like here, Tim?
I thought you were gonna hit the same one that I was on, because it's really funny because I thought the same exact thing, same exact thought process, and I was like turning my head, I'm like, is he gonna say the exact same really, really wide line on the exact same fighter that I'm gonna say? I'm like, because that's always a good thing. I line up I like the Blackshear side as well, but I don't hate the sub prop on him, and I think that it was 18-1. Some people got 18-1, which is insane. I think it's 12-1 still on FanDuel. Like, that still is plenty good for me in a fight where I think that there's going to be a lot of grappling and a lot of scrambles. Yeah, and he's just wily. I just don't. I'm not saying that I think really think it happens at a high rate, but like 12-1 is a really solid line for a guy that is absolutely going to proactively grapple, as well as Lacerda is good and he is slick on the ground. But like the same thing, like he plays guard. His guard can be passed. Like, he's gonna throw up subs so he can be swept. Like, he can sweep, but like he can be really put in bad positions. So he's been subbed before. He's only lost twice. He's been subbed before. Yeah, I like the sub for Blackshear. I wouldn't be like, if just say 2 in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if this fight goes, like, if it does go, that it's like a really close greasy ass split decision. So, but I'm gonna lean. I'll lean with the sub. I love that 12-1 line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. My thing is, I'm hoping Blackshear doesn't decide to grapple here. Like, honestly, if he doesn't want to grapple, like, I don't think this fight might not hit the mat, man. I think it's just gonna stay on the feet because he's super athletic. He is way quicker than this guy. Like, I don't know. I look at fucking Die Hard. He's going at it right here. Can I interest you in round 3 plus 3,000? Yeah, but the
I'd
issue with
rather
Blackshear, like, he slows down a lot in round 3, though. That's kind of where I don't like round 3 for him. I understand last time out he got that triangle from bottom, but he does slow down in round 3. He really does.
we
And
needed like 10 more seconds.
yeah, I mean, 10 more seconds, guy's going to sleep.
Yeah.
If you saw Bashrat, he's like turning fucking purple when he gets out. He's like letting a big sigh. And he's like, thank God the round's over. But yeah, I mean, I can't hate you for round 3, but man, I don't even want to get greedy. 1,400, I think it's plenty for me at this point, man. I kind of don't understand why it's such a big line there, but whatever. Let's move on. Fight number 3, strawweight division, 11-8, Jinyu Fry, 6-3, Elise Reed. You have the honors. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, this fight sucks. Let's be honest. Jinyu Frey just got bonked by the most incredibly beautiful Polyana Viana. Thank God for her. Yeah, this fight, man. Again, like I don't really know what to think because if Frey didn't get, if she wasn't super old, like there's a bunch of like ifs. Like obviously, I think she's kind of sucks. I think she's super old. I think that she just got bonked within the last year badly, like meme bonk. But I absolutely hate Elise Reed. Like I've cashed so much money against Elise Reed. Like I can't get to either side. Like I understand like both people. I would take a shot on like KO Reed or something like that, but I don't, I don't think it happens. And I think there's two things in this fight. I'll say the one, and if you don't go to the other one, I'll say it at the end. But like, I mean, Fry by sub 10-1. If she proactively grapples, is a solid line. I don't think she's going to proactively grapple because she rarely does, but she just recently got her brown belt, so little narrative shit, but not really. It's horrible.
Okay.
What's that?
Do this in this fight. Close both of your eyes
and just pray.
Make sure your mouse is on top of split decision.
Yeah, that was the other one. That was the other one I had. I had end split at plus 380. I mean, those are the only two plays. Yeah, there's only two plays.
Fucking terrible. I don't want to take a side. One is old as shit, just got bonked by Polyana Viana. The other one is absolutely ass on the ground. I mean, what's there to say here? Like, there's nothing to say, honestly, because when I watch Elise Reed, she's weak as shit. I watched that Melissa Martinez fight, dude, and Melissa Martinez is one of the weakest girls at 115, and even she was having some success against Elise Reed. Now, you mentioned something like if Jinyu Fry grapples, maybe she has success, honestly, because I honestly believe this girl's very, very weak, man. This Elise Reed chick. And on the feet, I mean, I think she's a little maybe better than Jinyu Fry. I don't know by how much. It's just a shit show of a fight. Like I said, fucking close your eyes and fucking click split decision and hope the judges see it that way. And also, Elise Reed, 4 fights have gone a decision, 2 have been split. And on the other side, she has 3 split decisions. So it's like, it's happening a decent amount with these chicks.
Yeah,
so
no question about it.
What is it? Plus 380, 400? It can't be that much.
380. It's plus 380.
Yeah, it's shit price. But like, this is a shit fight. Listen, it's a shit fight, so you get a shit price. I mean, there's nothing more to this fight. I can't stand this fight. I don't even know why it's on any UFC card.
Yeah, I was expecting like plus 300 on the split, to be honest. It's not terrible.
Yeah. I mean, 380 is better than 350.
Yeah.
Moving on. Fight number 4. It is in the lightweight division. It's 16-5 Jamie Malarkey versus the 8-2 Muhammad Naimov. I think I did good there. Really love a spot here, Tim. I mentioned on Spaces with Lucrative. I really love a spot, and I love Malarkey by submission, man. I really do. It's a play of mine. I got half a unit on it. I normally don't go half a unit on big props like this, but it's looking right at me and it's saying, Mike, you watched the tape. You watched England screw this guy up on the ground, and England is absolutely not UFC level. He doesn't know how to fucking submit anyone. I don't think Colin England has a single submission in all 8 of his wins, right? And he had this guy's back. He had control of this guy. He almost subbed him at one point. And now you look at Colin England, he's gone onto the regional scene, fighting in the Colorado Combat Club and fighting at fucking XMMA. He's getting knocked out. He's losing. The guy sucks, dude. And to be honest, I know people are like, oh, Naimov, Malarkey doesn't cover these prices. But, bro, Naimov is not good, man. Oliver Murad, who's absolutely atrocious, beat this guy. This guy sucks. Like, sucks bad. So, with that being said, could he bonk Malarkey early? Maybe. But I love the submission at plus 900. I don't know. Listen, if Malarkey gets this guy's back, I think he subs him. And the one thing I noticed with Naimov, he's tough. He's one of those Tajiki guys that you pound on him, get in full mount, nail him. He's just not going to give up. He's going to constantly move. He's going to give up his back, and he's going to say, try and sub me. And Malarkey might oblige and give us a plus 900. So give me Jamie Malarkey by submission here.
Yeah, raise the arm up, man. You know where I'm going with this one. Malarkey by sub. I saw it earlier in the week as soon as they changed the fight, and DK was the first to put the line out in the props, and FanDuel didn't have anything out yet. And I saw DK threw 700 out, and I'm like, fuck that. That's not even right. 700 isn't right. I was like, for everything that you said, I'm like, that's a great line at 700. And then I see FanDuel, and FanDuel was plus 850, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll add some more. Yeah. So
that online had 900, so I think it might be still there. I don't know, but 850, 700, I still think that's way off. I just think it's way off.
Totally.
If Malarkey learned his lesson and he grapples here, which I think he will, and I think Naimov just kind of like he grapples himself like something. Just if he's getting touched up on the feet, he probably is going to grapple. So it's going to hit the mat, I feel like, at some point. And
sub 2, sub 3 is 20 to 1 on FanDuel and 45 to 1.
Yeah. Devin says, you motherfuckers sneaking up on me like that. Thanks for the show as always. Yes, my man. Naimov, what is that? Is that a turtle?
It's a cap? No, it's a turtle.
What does that mean? Naimov is a turtle. He shells up? Maybe on the ground?
I don't know. Yeah, they're slow as shit.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, he sucks. Naimov sucks, honest to God. Like, I know there's people betting him. Oh, Naimov, Malarkey shouldn't be this price against anybody. Yes, he should. Against this guy, he should be that price. This guy's not good, man. And I know that I've heard some rumors about people saying, well, there's a lot of Muslims fighting on this card. I mean, I don't take that into account, honestly. I really don't. This guy was a late notice replacement. So he wasn't even supposed to be on the card. So I don't know. I like Malarkey here by sub. Moving on, fight number 5, bantamweight division. It is 19-6, John Castaneda versus the 18-4, Munoz Gafurov. What do you have here, Tim?
Who is this one again? I'm sorry.
Gafurov versus Castaneda.
Oh, there you go. I think that this fight is Castaneda finishes him and breaks him in round 2 or 3. I think Gafurov's getting some really interesting love this week. I know, obviously I don't think the Chad and Hellinger fight was like a clear victory for and Hellinger. He might have lost that fight, but just the line, he was a huge favorite. And he just didn't look great. I think he throws a bunch of spinning shit that if he doesn't connect, it's, he can wrestle a little bit. I just think that super short notice fighting Castaneda is not, I don't think it's going to be easy. So I think stylistically, Castaneda can kind of wear him down and break him over time. And Yeah, so give me a shot at Castaneda round 2, round 3.
Yeah. I think it's a really close fight, honestly, Tim. I think people kind of underestimating Gafurov. I've watched this guy and I do think he's pretty good, damn good. I mean, he can grapple, he can strike. I know the N Hellinger fight is not a good look, but kind of feel like he adrenaline dumped, he gassed early. He came back in the LFA, knocked out 2 Brazilians that were, pretty decent fighters. Went 3 rounds with John Lineker, who absolutely hits like a freaking truck. And on the other side, I do think I like Castaneda. I think he's a good grappler. I think he's a good striker. I think he has all the intangibles, to be honest. He has very durable. He has good cardio. So I really like Castaneda. So hence why I think I like both guys. I think it's a close fight. One guy's taking it on short notice, so it's an advantage for Castaneda. And the other thing, Castaneda's last fight when he got stopped by Santos, he did say on his interview, he mentioned how he was sick, he was taking antibiotics, and then during the fight, he said all his organs internally were like burning, and he couldn't fucking breathe. He said that's why, I looked the way I looked, like I gassed so hard, is because of that. And I believe him because Castaneda has really good cardio. And he was death gassed in the second round. I mean, he was done. So with that being said, I think this fight is very close. I think the line that sticks out to me is Gafurov decision. It's plus 350. I think it's kind of unfair, man. I think that line is too big. It literally is way too big, in my opinion, because they have his knockout prop like pretty close to decision. And honestly, Castaneda is very, very hard to get out of there. Like, this guy is durable as shit. Like, I understand he got knocked out last fight, but there was shit behind it too. So for me, Gafurov decision, man, it's too big of a line. It's just too big. When you look at his money line, it shouldn't be. I think that's a lot of his win equity. I know the guy hits hard, but
I had the same. I had the same. Like I had like this one. I have like scribbled off of a couple. Sorry, and I have like N split, and I had before I had my other plays were Gafurov points, Gafurov split, and N split.
What split? What is split? I'm kind of interested in split.
N split is plus 500. Gafurov split I think is 11-1.
I like it. I like.
That's exactly right. I mean, I think that's
because I'm saying exactly how I feel. I think it's a very close fight.
So there's one that's how I see half of my brain sees this fight going. The other half.
Gafurov helped with Marab camp. Yeah, I saw him. I saw him with Marab and everything. But like, I don't think cardio is going to be a big issue. I really don't. Because I watched, like I said, he's been 3 rounds like that. That fight against Lineker, I mean, it's high paced, a lot of big shots being thrown, and I mean, he was pretty fine in that fight. Like, so I don't think his cardio is bad. Like, even in the fight in LFA, like, he stopped the guy in the third. His cardio was perfectly fine. Like, I don't think it's a big issue with his cardio. Like, one fight that stuck out is, that Contender Series. But again, I think he kind of adrenaline dumped in that. Like, I don't know what happened, but there's 70 of you in here still, and there's only 22 freaking thumbs up likes. Like, that's bullshit. That's freaking bullshit, Tim. There's 50 people that are in here that are not hitting that thumbs up. That's fucked up.
Yeah, but you know why though? You know why? You know why they haven't done it?
Why?
Because it's so hard to do, man. So hard.
Oh yes, you're right.
So hard.
They're so concentrated on our plays that they're not even thinking about going down.
So many things going on. It's late at night,
What's up, brother? What's up, Dad Father? Liam's in the house. What is up? Lambo, Slambo. That's right. It's definitely Slambo because I'm in Vegas and I'm fucking doing a Lambo Place podcast. And I got to be up early I'm going to go work out and then go play the tournament tomorrow. But with that being said, Tim, let's move on to fight number, if this computer will wake up. Fight number 6 here in the heavyweight division is the 34-21 Andre Arlovski versus the 9-5 Dontel Mays. And I will kick this one off. And I want nothing to do with this fight, to be honest. Like, just absolutely nothing. One guy has shit for brains as far as fight IQ. The other guy is ancient and it looks like he's just absolutely given up in some of these recent fights, especially his last one. Like the Lima fight, like he literally just like just sub me. Okay, you got my okay, tap. Like it wasn't even in or something, and he just fucking automatically tapped. And now he faces Dontel Mays, who got pretty much not run over, but what's his name? Had whatever he wanted to do, Sakai, he did against him. And it was like cage push, just working him on the cage, all types of shit. And we saw what he did against Hamdi, where he went and he did that little trip thing where he fell on his ass and he looked like a clown and everybody made fun of him. And now, I mean, if you can't win this fight against, 44-year-old Andre Arlovski, you don't deserve to be in the UFC anymore, dude. Like you need to find the door and just leave, because your only wins, quite frankly, are against Roque Martinez and Josh Parisian. So both guys, I don't even know, is Parisian still in the UFC? I don't think so. Both guys are not really UFC level. He's been finished, by Nascimento and Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane was honestly his best look, probably, and he lost the fight. Obviously, he got finished, but he didn't look half as bad there. So with that being said, I still have to play Dontel Mays by KO just because it's 330 on Unibet and Bet Rivers, and I honestly think it's like the last leg, like literally maybe not last leg for Arlovski. It's maybe the last couple of toes he's on. He doesn't even have a leg anymore. It's done. So it's like he's literally standing on like 3 toes, and it's up to Mays to like chop those toes off, and then he doesn't stand on anything. He's done. But who knows with fucking Mays, dude? It's plus 330. I think it's worth it. Like he does throw pretty hard, and I just think Arlovski's done. To be honest, it's just my opinion. So, what do you think here, Tim?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one super short because I hate Dontel Mays with a passion. But yeah, there just seems to be a few spots in this fight that seem intelligent, maybe for people who would want to waste their money betting on this type of fight. Mays by sub at 11-1 seems stupid because I'm actually using the technique of you got to watch out for the Arlovski tap, which is like the second that arm gets there, it's like, that's it. Thank you. As soon as you're right there, okay, cool. It's like he's dabbing. It's like he's connecting a dab. So yeah, I think Mays. Does he go for takedowns? I guess he was trying to wrestle Hamdi. So if he's not just completely stupid, which we don't know, he'll probably try to go for a takedown here. And if he does get him down, just the recent fights from Arlovski are. He's so much more tappable and submittable than not getting knocked out in these fights. He is getting hurt, but he's just not putting himself in position to really get rocked. Whereas if he gets taken down, he's insta tapping. So I don't know. 11-1 seems all right for a guy, against a guy who, if he gets taken down, has been insta tapping.
My question is: does Dontel Mays even know how to submit people? Like, do you think he even knows how to put in a choke? I honestly don't think so.
Honestly, he does. I can tell you is he doesn't need hooks. He won't need hooks in because the last two guys
he has how many?
He's got to grab the neck. That's all he's got to do. He doesn't need to get one hook in, and he can definitely that's.
I don't know.
The other plays. You like the end split is by obvious end split. Is plus
I was just gonna say that.
End
what
split
is it?
Plus 400. It's good.
Yeah, I guess. It's heavyweights too. Oh,
it's all he does. And if you want to take the shot on Arlovski by split, it's only 700. But it's like that's how he wins. Like that's how it's
just FYI. And this is I'll tell you this. Remember last time Arlovski fought against Collier?
It was crazy.
No, hold on, because I'm gonna explain something that it's really, and I'm not kidding. It's very, very viable here in this fight as well. Okay. So last time Collier He fought Arlovski. It was at the Apex. Do you remember how the crowd went nuts for Arlovski and then he eventually got the split? Do you remember that?
Mhm.
Well, for a little background on that, all those guys were poker players, a bunch of them that I know. Okay. And they had a lot of money. I'm serious. They had a lot of money on Arlovski. And they're all here again. Okay. And I have a feeling they're all going to the fight again. So I'm just letting you guys know. It's a forewarning. If you hear a lot of yelling again for Arlovski, it's the same fucking guys again. They're there again. And it might sway judges. So I'm just warning you guys from now. Moving on. It's fight number 7. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 10-2 Daniel Santos versus the 12-2 Johnny Munoz Jr. What do you have here, Tim?
I like Santos to break him, pretty much do his thing, and round 2 is plus 500. Round 3 is plus 1,000. I'm slightly scared that he finishes him at the end of round 1 or middle of round 1 too. It's possible. So yeah, I think just standing, I think there's a big difference between these guys. Standing and striking is going to be just a gigantic difference. And I mean, if Munoz gets him down and can continually get him down and just rinse and repeat takedowns, or get the perfect position when he's gotten him down and maybe take his back or something like that, he can hold him for the round. But I mean, he is a wily cat, right? So we'll give Santos the lean on round 2, round 3 for me.
Yeah, I mean, I like the same plays, round 2, round 3. You get that 600 on Unibet at Rivers and 1,000 on FanDuel for round 3. But you said something that kind of like I caught it, and you like it's a massive difference on the feet. I honestly I don't think it's massive. It's I do favor Santos on the feet. I just don't think it's massive because Santos is so reckless on the feet, dude. He gets hit a lot. He gets hit very hard on the feet. I don't think Munoz, like for a grappler, he's not actually that bad on the feet. I don't think he's that bad. Now again, he's hittable as well. He gets hit as well. The portion of the fight where I think Munoz is going to struggle with is the pressure. He's not good against pressure. Like go look at Shilin Yan fight in round 3, right? When Shilin Yan is pushing forward, Munoz is running away. He's lost. He doesn't know how to strike back going backwards. So Santos, I'm pretty sure, is going to press forward. That's just what he does. And that's where I feel like Munoz is going to be screwed. He's going to be uncomfortable. He's going to be screwed. And that's how he's going to probably get him. But, like Santos is so fucking damn hittable on the feet. I hate it, But with that being said, I like round 2, round 3 Santos. I think he breaks him, like you mentioned. I don't want to give any other play because that's just what I like in this fight. And I think Santos probably gets him out of there. Most likely KO. He just like goes for KOs. He goes for it, and I do think he can stop him here late. Moving on, fight number 8, welterweight division, 23-7. Zaleski Santos versus the 17-3-1 Abubakar Nurmagomedov. What do you have here, Tim? Or no, it's me,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I'm lost. So yeah, this is another fight, man. Like so many of these lines, I just think are pretty sharp this week, man. And this is another fight that's evens, and I really don't know. Okay, if Zaleski didn't take such a long layoff, he's been gone for almost 2 years, right? If he wasn't coming off surgery for his elbow, if he wasn't 36 years old, turning 37, all these things. I mean, if these things weren't there, Tim, I would happily bet Dos Santos in the spot because can he get taken down? Yeah, but he gets back up, dude. You can't. It's not many guys hold him down, and Abubakar's grappling, honestly, is not the Dagestani type of grappling you want to see. Like he's not very good on the ground. I don't think he's all that. He got subbed against Zawada, like being careless. I don't think he has a bunch of finishing ability as well. And Zaleski is tough, man, and that's the thing. If honestly, if there wasn't all these red flags, 2 years off, elbow surgery, all this other shit, and his age, I would be happy to bet Zaleski here, and I think he's the better fighter. The problem is those things are there and they're real, so that's why I'm staying off. But I think this is another very close fight. Um, I don't see Nurmagomedov finishing Zaleski. Um, I do see Zaleski maybe finishing Nurmagomedov a little later because he's got pretty good cardio as well. Zaleski does. Um, so with that being said, I think taking a crack on round 2, round 3, Zaleski 850, 1400. Not my favorite play, but in on this fight, I think it's close. You know, if you want to go split decision, maybe even, I don't know. What do you have here? I would go with round 2, round 3, Zaleski. I think he has better cardio. He's got the better finishing ability. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
It's so funny when we match up on fights fucking exactly because I like have scribbles, and the scribbles that I had were Dos Santos, Zaleski Dos Santos round 2, round 3, and I scribbled it off, and then I ended up on end split, and I ended up on end split because of everything you said on Zaleski Dos Santos. Like, it's basically it. I mean, I just don't think you could take either one of these guys could potentially finish the other guy because like the unknowns on Dos Santos. Like we just don't know. The dude could be messed up, could be hurt, long layoff, old, taking a lot of damage. And then Nurmagomedov's been finishing every single one of his losses. So like the dude can be finished. Yeah, I think if the fight does go though, it's it's probably like a very close on the feet, kind of like moments versus minutes. I think probably the minutes are won by Nurmagomedov and the moments are won by Dos Santos. So give me an end split plus 400, but I like your round 2, round 3 as well.
Rich says Nurmagomedov ITD, but I don't know, dude. This guy, I don't think he can finish his fucking breakfast. So I don't know. You know, I don't think he's finished many at all of late. Like all of his
He hasn't finished in like 5 fights, like 5, 6 fights. At least 5 or 6
his
fights.
finishes were very, very early in his career. And once
he's just, I mean, he's just like absolutely laying praying and just doing virtually nothing.
I'm looking right now, and because I wanted to go back. Look at the guys he's finished, man. 0-0, 8-11, 4-21, 1-1, 4-3, 0-1, 1-1, 0-1. And then he finished this guy that's 9-3 and 7-1.
Barring injury, I really think that I think like if you gave me like a finish only prop and on Dos Santos,
what is finish only? Because I honestly think Dos Santos has a lot more finishing ability in this fight. He really does. Like I think he's the better. First of all, he's the better submission grappler, and second of all, he's
Santos
more dangerous striker.
Minus 250 on that. They're ahead of that.
Yeah, that sucks. That's not a good line. That's
the kind of proves our point. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the line. The books see that as well.
Dimitri, thank you for joining us, my friend. Thank you. Sean Orr's in the house. What's the injury? He had elbow surgery, Sean. He had elbow surgery. Like I don't know when, it was a while back, and then he aggravated it and he had to do something else again. And that's Dos Santos, but that's why he's been gone for so long. He has been competing, I think, in grappling some, but not much. I think Coach Khabib will be in his corner. I've been seeing him on his Instagram and stuff. I'm not so sure if he's going to be in Nurmagomedov's corner, but yeah, I've been seeing him. Khabib can't help him in the ring. That's the problem. Nurmagomedov, he can't help him in the ring. Moving on. Fight number 9 is the flyweight division. It is the 15-4 Karine Silva versus the 13-3 Caitlin Souza. And it's your turn, Tim, here.
Okay, so I like Silva in this fight. Souza is pretty small. I was waiting to see the face-offs, and I just because I knew that she had fought in 2 smaller weight classes, and I just wanted to see like maybe she looks bigger, maybe she looks like stockier or whatever, and she's not going to be that huge of a disadvantage in size. Like, I just think she is, and I think she's going to be in bad positions in this fight. So I also think that Silva is not like this, like it's not like sub or bust. Like the line is like insane sub to KO to me. When you look at the way that she fights, it's not like she's strictly sub or bust type fighter. She's cracks on the feet. She throws a huge right hand. She's looking to knock you the fuck out or club and sub you and then get you to the ground from that. Like, she doesn't really even go for takedowns very much. So if I were on the, I'm like, if you're betting the sub, to me, I think it's kind of square, because I just don't. It's a shit line, and it's like, you're not, like, what are you doing betting plus, what is it, plus 200 or barely, something like that. So I'm not saying I don't think it can happen. I think it definitely can happen, but I just don't think that there's any value on that line. Whereas the KO at plus 600 on FanDuel for Silva is fucking juicy and lovely to me. I think she could KO her on the feet. She could KO her with ground and pound. She could get position of ground and pound. There's lots of things that could happen for the KO. So yeah, KO plus 600 is really solid by me. And if you want to take a shot on like KO1 or actually KO2, I like better. So KO2 is 22-1. So 6-1 and 22-1. Not bad.
Yeah, I like KO as well. It's 600. If you go look at their face-offs, dude, like Karine Silva looks fucking massive compared to this girl. Look at her shoulders and her upper body compared to Souza looks tiny, dude. And like, I think Silva's gonna knock her out. Jeff Tesser says Souza KO? No, man. Come on. I don't think she has any power, dude. Souza doesn't have much power, to be honest. I know she has KOs in her background, but against who? Like absolute bums? Like she's not knocking out Silva. I don't think so. I think she's gonna get knocked out. She's much smaller. You know, if you watch the Botelho fight, like Silva cracked her and knocked her down and then subbed her. So it wasn't like a takedown or anything. She knocked her down first and then subbed her. So the other thing is, like, this Karine Silva, like, look at the, like, she's fight. Okay, here's something to look at, and I think it's important because I went back and looked at it. Look at the last three fights at 125, right? She weighed in at 123. She weighed in at 123.6. And then today she weighs at 124.5. Like, she's just not a fucking
small.
She's not a flyweight. Yeah, she's not a flyweight.
Yeah, barely anything.
Smaller. She's smaller every bit. Like, Silva's way bigger than her at face-off. So I think knockout is very live. It's 600. It's very big. I like it. I like it there. Daniel Lynn he got KO at 900 on Battleline. Yeah, I didn't get that. I wish I did. Dimitri R with the super sticker, $6.99. Thank you very much, Dimitri. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Ground and pound KO, no. She's not grounding in. If Souza even gets the fight to the ground, she's gonna get subbed, in my opinion. That's what happened.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think that if you're on Souza at violence, I would for sure take the 22-1 by sub. That's like
she's not. I don't know. Maybe
I know. I'm just saying, meme armbar shit from guard, reverse, like crazy reversal back take shit. That's just stupid. Like, Silva can gas. I'm not saying that I think it happens, but like, Silva can gas if she's gonna die maybe later in the end of the second round or end of the third round, if she completely does everything to fuck her up on the ground and then doesn't get the kill, kind of i.e. Fluffy versus Riviera. Like, I can see that's the only thing. I really don't see KO. That's where I agree with you. I don't see her KOing Silva, but I definitely could see her meme fucking subbing her or something stupid from the bottom. But then that's a crazy ass line too at plus.
Ice Viking makes a good point though. He says Silva looks like Bruce Leroy if he lifted weights. That is a great one. I gotta give you props on that one. I didn't even think of it, but that's very true. I think she's a little bigger than Bruce Leroy, to be honest. Moving on, fight number 10. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 18-12-1 Tim Elliott versus the 12-2 Victor Altamirano, and I will kick this one off. I said it. I think this is Tim Elliott's fight to lose, man. Like, he's He's better than this guy everywhere. Everywhere. When I say everywhere, I mean in every aspect of MMA, he's better than Victor Altamirano. Grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, striking. I mean everything, dude. He's just experienced UFC, having experience in the UFC, the competition. I mean, look at the losses Tim Elliott has, dude. Like, it's like when you go back and look, it's like some of the best, right? Outside of Ben Nguyen, right? He's lost to the best guys: Demetrius Johnson, Davison Figueiredo, Askarov, Royval, Nicolau. I mean, and then he's beaten good guys and Ulanbekov, So I honestly, with Altamirano, I'm very, very down on this guy. I don't think this guy is any good, and I bet him in his last fight, Tim. I think he sucks, but it was a perfect matchup for him because I think Salvador is not UFC level. Daniel Lacerda is not UFC level. And the guys he lost to Hernandez is not very good. Candelario fight that he got robbed in, Candelario. He lost that fight, in my opinion. He's not very good. And it's like now he faces Tim Elliott. Like Tim Elliott should do whatever he wants with this guy. And this guy's takedown defense is terrible. Terrible. When I say terrible, it's absolutely terrible. But at the end of the day, I think Tim Elliott wins here. I do think Altamirano is durable, but maybe he makes a mistake on the ground and Tim Elliott gets it, man. And plus 600 is out there. This guy has been subbed by Jarrett Brooks. Obviously, Jarrett Brooks is really good, but this guy Altamirano is just not very good in my opinion. So, with that being said, give me Tim Elliott via submission. I just think he wins here. I really like the play here. What do you got?
So only thing I disagree with on what you said was like Weezy was talking about this. He made a really good point earlier this week. He was saying like the wins aren't great on Elliott. Tagir's win is super questionable in my opinion, as well as he fucking cheated. So let me just give you guys a little quick like side note. When you cheat as badly as he cheated against Tagir, karma comes back to haunt you with that shit, and your best friend fucks your wife. Okay, so this is how this stuff goes in life. This is if you're. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm fucking with you guys. Anyways, no, I think that I don't know. I just think he's kind of getting older. I do think that there's again, all the issues, like this, all the different things. Like I do think like if he didn't have surgery on his knee, if he didn't have all the head shit, like just the head games that he's got to be going through, and then training's got to be different. His training situation has to be different. I don't know. I think that end split potential, like just greasy shit, plus 380. Victor by split is 11-1. I don't think those are terrible. I think that his Victor's path is a greasy ass split decision. So I'm not gonna be on the board with everybody on the team Tim because he got cucked. So
yeah, I guess I don't mind split because Tim Elliott does fight close in general. Like he kind of fights close even in his wins. Man, I just think Altamirano sucks, dude.
He does. He really does. I would have made a bet on it if I would have really made a bet on it if I thought there was a ton of confidence in it at all. But I don't. I really don't. I think that this, like you said, I think this is probably Tim's fight to lose. But I don't want to probably have my money on this fight right now.
And he's been getting steamed pretty damn hard, dude.
You don't want to bet him as a you don't want to bet him as a fucking minus.
I don't lay 195. I wish I got him earlier. Like there was one point he was like one.
He's a great dog. He's a great dog. He's not a good favorite to bet on.
Yeah. And Altamirano, I mean, man, I just yuck. I don't like Altamirano at all, dude. Like I don't think he's skilled in any part of MMA. That's the issue with him. I guess he got decent cardio and he has good durability. That's it. Moving on, fight number 11. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 35-17 Jim Miller versus the 12-4 Jesse Butler. What do you have here, Tim? Do we even have anything here?
We don't have props, but I'll give out what I think is going to happen in the fight.
Yeah, let's just break it down a little bit or something.
I mean, this Butler is just a dog shit like jiu-jitsu player that's not good on the ground. So like he doesn't have wrestling, he doesn't have a lot of striking. Like he's totally beat everywhere by Miller, and it's like this is one of those situations where I think Miller it just does what he wants to do and probably finishes in round 1 or round 2. But I'm leaning sub because just the positions and like if this guy tries to take Miller down, I just insta gilly. I think he gets guillotined like instantaneously, and then I think if Miller gets him down, I feel like he transitions in less than a minute and gets to an insane position on the top. So I think Miller inside the distance is obvious. I think round 1, round 2, I think Miller sub would be the ways that I would play it.
So a little background on Jesse Butler. I watch a lot of Fury FC and he fights there. I don't think he's like completely ass grappler. He's not terrible. But this guy used to fight at 55 his entire like amateur career, and then he started off at 55 in pros, even fought at 70. That's his only stoppage, his only loss by a stoppage. It was at 170 pounds. But I do think he's durable. I do think he's tough, but man, he's got his work cut out for him here. It's like short notice against a UFC vet who, honestly, like one thing I've noticed from Miller lately, he's sitting down on his punches a lot more. He's trying to knock people's head off. He really is. And if props come out, I'm going to look to hit like round 1, round 2 KO on Miller. I think I think he knocks him out in general. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this guy's going to grapple with Miller. I really don't. Like, what are you going to grapple with Miller, dude? You're going to get sub probably, you know?
What else does he do?
Huh?
He doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, he does strike sometimes.
Like he'll bum forward just to try to get you down. Like that's he's just gonna get rocked.
Yeah,
like, that's
right.
what I'm saying.
I mean, his game is to try to take you to the ground and sub you. Yeah.
He's got nothing. Like it's just a prime matchup for Miller. Obviously, if Miller gasses himself, which is possible, like okay, I mean,
he looked good last fight.
He's looked so much better. Yeah, he's looked so much better. But I just like it's one of those things too where it takes him to like have a little adversity or people fighting back a little bit against him to push it to gas him out. I don't think he's going to gas with Butler.
Wow, this guy round 3 sub on Butler. I mean, I can't hate you for it. I mean, Miller does gas. I don't know if he's going to sub Miller. It would surprise me, but you never know. Are going to win by a class. Oh, maybe. That's possible as well. Just Win says, late notice, main card, UFC jitter, gas is late on striking. Yeah, it's Miller time. I think it's Miller time too. This Butler guy throws naked kicks, gets countered. I know he's going to eat a straight left. I'm not kidding. He's going to eat that piston left from Miller, and he's going to absolutely get floored. Because Miller.
Don't you think like just looking at whatever line they give is the bit like the higher line and the sub or the KO is kind of like the way.
Or
just round 1, round 2.
I just think he's going to knock him out, dude. I really do. But yeah, I mean, let's see because the line is not very big. Remember, the line is, it's fairly reasonable, to be honest. It's minus 240 on FanDuel, right? So we might actually get decent props on Miller, and this guy hasn't been stopped since his second pro fight. So they might take that into account and say, Miller, he's a little older. Let's give him, plus 1,000 by a KO. And then Narco Cop is just going to hammer it. Just absolutely put down the freaking hammer on it if they give me that type of price. So, let's move on. Fight number 12. It's in the featherweight division. It is the 20-13 Alex Caceres versus the 28-14 Daniel Pineda. And Pineda was one of my best bets last time out, probably of the year. I was really, really like I really liked him in that spot, and he came out and did what he had to do against Tucker Lutz. And I kind of mentioned he's on the sauce, and I think he's still on the sauce, to be honest. He looked really good again. But the difference between Tucker Lutz and Alex Caceres is very, very large in the sense that Alex Caceres, first of all, he's kind of like a blockhead. He's very hard to finish. Like it's very hard to knock this guy out. I think he's been knocked out once in his career. We're talking 33 fights. It's very hard to knock the guy out. Now, the thing with Pineda is he goes early and he goes hard early. He goes for takedowns. Then he has a bunch of submissions against pretty good grapplers. Like when you look at his career, I mean, he subbed Jeremy Kennedy. I think it was a club and sub. You know, the guy also hits hard on the feet. Like he throws. I mean, he's coming to kill you. The issue here is like, Caceres like a weasel, dude. He can get out of the way. Like he's just that weasel type of fighter, and he's gonna prolong this fight, and probably Pineda's gonna gas. And according to his interview, he's like, I'm gonna try to get this guy out of there, and if not, I'm probably gonna get knocked out. That's exactly what he said. So funny to listen to it. And his brother's in his corner. He says his brother gives him extra motivation. Honestly, I don't know what way. I was thinking two ways in this fight, honestly. I think Caceres late, right? Caceres round 3 is 1,300. Caceres round 2 is 650. But I also think Pineda early is very, very live as well, man. Pineda round 1 is 500. And round 2 is 1,000. It's one of those fights where it's early Pineda and it's late Caceres. I could see the fight. I don't want to say it won't go to decision, but man, I will be a little surprised if it does based on how Pineda fights. It's just and the way Caceres, comes forward, and Caceres has the intangibles to win this fight later. So, with that being said, I'm gonna still go with Caceres 2-3. But Pineda's live early. What do you have here, Tim?
Yeah, nothing really to add to this other than I'm on Caceres round 2, round 3 as well. You hit the nail on the head. I think Pineda round 1, round 2 are solid as well. I would think that Pineda's more likely to not to KO. I'm sorry, to sub him than to KO him. Caceres has been pretty durable through his UFC career and just not getting like bonked and getting dropped a lot, and just like he can take a hell of a shot and just keep fucking fighting. I don't know. I just think that he's way more. He's way like the grapple fuck is just so much more live in the first 7 minutes, if you ask me, in a small cage for Pineda. So I wouldn't get, obviously, because I don't know if the lines are that far off. I don't think it's that there's value for it for the sub, but I would think that would be more likely. But
all right, Tim, I'm changing my mind. I saw something, and I'm changing my mind.
You're going Pineda round 1, round 2?
No. I'm completely changing my mind here.
Are you going points, Caceres?
I'm going Pineda points, man.
Pineda points.
Pineda points 750.
Interesting.
And I'll tell you why. I think he wins round 1 at a pretty decent clip. And when I see him last fight, man, in round 2, like he looked very fresh still. Like he can easily win round 2 as well, right? And then because the problem I have, I'll tell you the problem I have with Caceres, I just don't think he has much finishing ability. I don't think he's gonna sub Pineda. Like Pineda is very, very hard to sub. Okay. And when you look at Caceres knockouts, like what does this knockout look like? Head kick against Arosa? Doctor stoppage because of an eye against Rolando Dai? And that's fucking it, Tim. That's all his knockouts. So it's like Is he gonna sub Pineda? I don't think so. So it's like, how's he gonna win then? How's he gonna stop him? And then if this fight goes to the scorecards, Pineda's fucking points is 750, dude. I didn't see that. I honestly skipped it, but I was looking now. I'm like,
But you know how many decisions he's won in 28 fights?
Probably none. But yeah, I get it. But remember what we always say.
No, yeah. I would just think that the line would be actually...
he's facing a guy that's not really that big of a finisher. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think that he can sub him though. I think that like the difference of when it's not going to come from a sub from Caceres like grappling him and getting good positions. It's going to come from him death gassing and not finishing him in the end of the second round or end of the third round or the third round, and then he gets guillotined, like going for a takedown and trying to get him down and trying to hold him down or get position. Like that's how he gets the decision in the first place. He's probably not just standing with him for a while. You know, you're frozen. So I wonder, are you there? I think I think I've got to run the show here until Narco comes back. But yeah, I think I just think Caceres is like definitely live for a sub, more live than Narco thought. But yeah, I definitely think that Caceres is also really live for a decision for what he was saying. If he doesn't finish him on the feet and it's standing for 15 minutes and there's not a lot of takedowns, I feel like it's definitely live for Caceres actually more to get the decision. So, yeah, so we move on. Hopefully Narco will come back here soon. So we're going to go on to the main event and got Albazi versus Kai Kara France. And this fight's super interesting. I've been going back and forth, been talking with a bunch of people in the chat, actually had initially leaned Albazi, and then I went back to Kai Kara France, and then I went back to Albazi. And so I just feel like it's, to me, it's I keep, going back and forth, but it's like I feel like Albazi by sub would be the play that I would make. I feel that Kai has gotten just fucking crazy ass pull lucky fucking defending these subs against Askar. I feel like Askar's fight against him was one of his worst performances. Even though he almost had the sub in round one. I felt he was super tired, wasn't able to get any of the grappling going in the second and third round. I feel also that Kai's defense against Bontarin was the same thing. Like, I mean, he's just inches away from getting subbed against these guys that if you did those fights 100 times, they end up getting the sub over 50% in my mind. So I feel like he's kind of gotten out of those situations, and I don't feel that he's going to get out of these situations. And I also feel that the wrestling from Albazi is going to be a little bit different. He's going to do different types of takedown attempts, trying to instead of going for, he'll probably go for some power doubles as well as take the single and just run it all the way through. He's a little bit more just powerful, I think, than Askar is. So yeah, as well as I think the striking for Albazi is better than Askar. So it's just a little bit more of a threat that Kai doesn't need to worry. Just be worrying about the shot and just be defending that because his takedown defense has been pretty solid in his career. So that's all I got on this one. So hopefully Narco will come back soon, and I can give out my Lambo parlay, and then if he comes back, we'll finish it off with him, and then if not, we'll call it an evening. So for my Lambo parlay, I am going to go with Malarkey by sub, Albazi inside the distance, and Santos inside the distance, and that's 46-1. And if you wanted to add, I don't have Miller inside the distance yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be -100, let's say. if you did that, it's going to be like about 100 to 1. So I think those are fucking solid. Guys, pretty much all guys I think that are going to finish. If you wanted to take one of them out, maybe Malarkey by inside the distance instead of sub, and then it'll probably go down to like 20 to 1 or something like that. So we'll give Narco a little bit of another minute or so to come back, and then if he doesn't, I'll take maybe a question or two from the chat, and then we'll call it a night because I got to get to work pretty early tomorrow. Do I have an enormous penis? Yes. It's gargantuan. Yep, that was – I don't want to say who asked because people will probably have some problems with that question, but yes, it is gigantic. So if you're curious about that. Jeff, yes, Steelers, absolutely. Narco is back, ladies and gentlemen.
This sucked, dude. Sorry, guys. Horrible on my end. Very, very sorry. Where the hell were we at even?
I don't know, man. I was done. I finished.
Oh, we were on Pineda. Points. I like the points now, bro. I really do. I think points just doesn't make sense. 750. I think he wins early round one, probably for sure. And his opponent is just not a finisher, dude. He just isn't. And has Pineda even ever been subbed in 42 fights?
Pineda?
Yeah.
Yes, a bunch.
A bunch.
Yeah.
Like early in his career, probably.
I think 5 or 6 times. 6.
Yeah, but all early because I'm looking right now. He's never been subbed in the UFC. And he has a shit ton of fights. Bellator, and he's faced good guys. He's never been subbed. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think Caceres is the guy to sub him because he himself has been subbed a shit ton. So, yeah, man, I'm going to go with points. I'm going to go with points here. I think that line is way off. 750, no way. I just saw that, honestly. I didn't think it was that big. That's crazy. Moving on. What did you give for that play?
I gave round 2, round 3 Caceres.
Okay, well, that's what I was given initially. Fine, now it's yours. Moving on to the main event. Before we move on to the main event, let me see how many likes we got here, Tim. 49. Brutal. Is that accurate? 49? Come on, guys. So 92 of you in here. How is there only 49 likes? Please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Really appreciate it. If you do. And with that being said, we will move on to the main event of the night. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 24-10 Kai Kara France versus the 16-1 Amir Albazi. And I'll let you kick this one off, Tim.
Already did it. So when you were gone, I kept going, man. I didn't want to let the show go. These guys were asking me to do like a little show, take my shirt off and stuff. I'm like, oh, we're going to keep the show professional. And so I just ran through the rest of the fights. So I'll give you mine. I'll say it again. It was Albazi by sub.
Yeah, this is a fight where, like, initially I thought I was going to bet Kai Kara France. Then when I went back, honestly, I kind of feel like it's Albazi's fight to lose because I think people are underestimating Albazi's striking, to be honest. I don't think he's as bad as people think. I think he has pretty good defense on the feet. Like, his hands are up. I know I heard some takes like, oh, he's very hittable. He gets hit a lot. I don't think so. I think he's got good defense. Like, his hands, when I watch guys throwing punches and their hands come back right away to the side of their head, those guys are not bad defensively. They know what they're doing. Like, usually, if you're not like a boxer and stuff, like when you're throwing punches, you're bringing your hand down and then up, right? He brings it straight back, dude. So I think his striking is actually pretty good. I think he hits very hard. Albazi does. I think he's leveled up a lot since the loss that he had, his initial loss to Jose Torres 4 years ago. And you have to remember, after that, like shortly after that, he started training in the States, dude. And he's getting very good training here. He's just leveling up, this guy. And in the grappling, he's just a better grappler. He's the better grappler. I think cardio is about even. Initially, I thought Kai Kara would have a cardio edge. After rewatching some of Albazi's fight, I think he has good cardio. I don't think there's an issue with his cardio. He knocked that guy out in the third round. He looked completely fine in round 3 against Costa. So with that being said, I'm leaning Albazi submission as well, but I think kind of like Albazi submission, like round 2, round 3. I'm gonna give it a little more pinpoint stuff and go Albazi submission. Round 2, it's 1600. Round 3 is 1800. I kind of feel like that's the sweet spot to get the submission for him. I think if it goes further, it goes round 4, round 5. I think it's gonna go to decision then, and I'm kind of screwed because I have fight doesn't go. But I can see Kai Kara France like catching him as well. Like that's not like we just don't know how durable or how we don't know much about his durability, right?
Yeah, I think that's the thing I would question you is like what I don't have enough data in my mind. I just don't have really a take at all on this. Is the like, do you think that Albazi can if he were to like just constantly be grappling in this fight? Do you think that he could do that for 3-4 rounds or like to?
I don't think so, but he doesn't do that in none of his fights.
No, I agree. That's why I'm saying.
You know what he does really well? He picks and chooses his spots to shoot. Like he doesn't just go out there and like that's why I think his striking is not bad because he can strike. Look at I know his level of opposition is not very good, but he's landing 3.54 per minute and he's only absorbing 2.4. His striking defense is 61%, man. He's good defensively. He moves his head, he keeps his hands up. And his takedown accuracy, look at it, 50%, Tim. That's very high. Very, very high. You know why? Because he just doesn't shoot relentlessly. He picks and chooses when he shoots. And I think he's a very smart fighter as well. That's another thing with him. He's got very good fight IQ. Yeah, I kind of have a feeling this is his fight to lose, man. I really do. Now, can Kai Kara France catch him? Sure. I mean, Kai Kara France is a great striker, He's a great striker, and he's he's shown to do very good defensively when it comes to the grappling. But the difference with Albazi is he's not going to spam takedowns like Askarov or whatever. He's going to pick his time to shoot. And I think he just chooses the correct times, man. He's very good with that. And Rich says Albazi looks juicy. He always looks like this, though. Albazi's been looking like this in every fight. Think he will have that Mackenzie Dern cardio? Yeah, I don't think cardio is a big issue here, man. I honestly don't. Both guys have never been 5 rounds, have they?
Nope.
I don't think Kai Kara's ever been 5.
Never.
Yeah, and Albazi hasn't either. So it's new territory for both guys. So with that being said, yeah, I think the sub is good, but I'm gonna go sweeten it a little more and go sub 2-3 here, and see if he can.
I actually totally agree with rounds too.
What the heck is KO for Albazi? Because I think he has power in his hands. 700.
6 or 700, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd rather go with sub. Because Kai Kara is very durable. He's hard to get out of there. Like that last one was a body kick,
Yeah, I think it's
not something that normally happens. So, yeah, that's all of them. All 13 fights here, Tim. Let's give him our Lambo parlay. I know Mushroom's not in here. It's too late for him. He's an old man, so he's sleeping at fucking, 9 p.m. Eastern, so he can't hang with us young guys. But with that being said, yeah, give us your Lambo parlay.
It's Malarkey sub, Albazi inside the distance, Santos inside the distance was 46-1. And then if you wanted to add Miller inside the distance when it comes out, if it's around minus 100 or 110 or something like that, it'll be around 100-1.
All right. I have Silva ITD because I don't want to pick just a KO because I think she can sub her. Also, I like Malarkey ITD. What is his ITA, Tim? I gotta look at it. That's shitty. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna go crazy. Go Malarkey submission. Okay, I'm gonna go crazy here. Obviously we don't have a Miller line, so I like Santos by knockout. It's 125-ish range. That's 3, right?
Just go ITD. It's minus 100.
Yeah. Okay, go ITD then. Yes, thank you. And then I want to get crazy, Tim. Let's go Daniel Pineda by decision. Give me what that is right there.
Oh, let me hold on.
Oh, you don't have it?
I don't have it. No, I was just writing them down.
Did you write them down? All right,
Yeah.
let me pull up the parlay calculator. I'll let you guys know what this is. Give me the odds on them. Do you have the odds?
Silva ITD
125.
Malarkey sub plus 850. Santos inside the distance minus 100.
Yeah.
Or plus 100. Pineda points plus 750.
Okay. So since we got crazy, it's 362 to 1. That's how I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go out with the bang because I hit one last week, but we're really gonna hit one this week. 362 to 1. Fuck it. We're going for it all.
Yeah, if you just take Pineda off, it still is like 30 to 40 to 1.
There you go.
Yeah.
So just do that. Yeah. Add the 3 and then add Pineda as the 4th, and maybe we hit all of it for the whole shebang. Right? 90 of you still in here. Am I still here? Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell them where they can find you and what you have going on, Tim.
Here with you Fridays, and then doing a show tomorrow on Spaces with Twitter, or on Twitter Spaces with Sean Orr. I'm obviously about to hit the bed. Sorry. So yeah, we're doing that tomorrow.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, you guys can find me at NarcoCop on Twitter, NarcoCop MMA YouTube channel. I might not have a live Spaces tomorrow. We'll see because I have my tournament. What time does the card start, Tim?
5 Central.
6 Eastern, 5 Central. So it's 3 o'clock here. Unless I bust from the tournament early, because I think it starts at 10. I'm not going to have live Spaces tomorrow because I'm probably going to be playing. So with that being said, good luck, everybody. Hopefully everybody wins big money tomorrow. And one last thing, guys. Let's cash those fucking tickets for UFC Vegas 74. See you guys all